dear.
Don't be sorry. It's my mental throne. Hey, don't look so sad. Yeah, I know the world is going mad.
You want civil war, but you lack conviction.
Okay, I'll vote for Starmer.
You never been intimidated by something you haven't done. You got me, you got you, don't feel alone, never feel it's just you. It's not just you, it's not just you. Oh, it's like a trick of the mind, but it's not just you. We have an army, it's not all the way, we are the people. And we
Commander War. But don't be a cunt.
We have a heart, we have a head.
Kill everyone on the bridge.
I'm having a ball.
They make a course correction for
You, Mr. Rascal.
My name is Owen Jones, a renowned drama queen, pseudo-intellectual and champagne socialist.
Marxist shites with blood on their hands. 100 live there, but for them it's okay. They went to uni, studied home economics. Yeah, that will save the day. They'll say we never heard a fly, and you can't call it a lie. They never laid a hand, they never took the land. They just let the people starve in a slave state. The only others who got to work too late. Utopia. Utopia. The prison for the mind. An excuse to make slaves. Utopia. A fictitious state. Freedom enforced.
Hey guys, I'm Tom Fury. This is Zero News, my small but ever growing podcast. Usually, anyway, I released a. It's really hard to gauge things, you know. I released a video unfinished. I shouldn't release it unfinished. You should never release a video unfinished. I was getting impatient. But I did it on a premiere today, and no one watched it. Not a single person watched it, and that's not the bit that bothered me actually. It's that when I've sat down with people and talked to them about it and been like, oh, should I continue doing these? And everyone's like, yeah. I really like this, I really like that. Or what was the Christopher Hitchens one people liked. So I do it and then people don't see it. But I do know that it's a smaller section of people that watch the animation. So it's only a few people, but there are people that ask me to do them. But I'm forgetting, aren't I? I've changed channels. So that smaller selection turns into nobody yeah, I'm sure some people will stumble across it, but that's not the point. It's just, it's time consuming, and I'm aiming at me, not you, don't worry. Yeah, it's time consuming, and yeah, it just takes up a lot of, you know, so it's been like, don't get me wrong, it's been great fun for me actually enjoying making videos, but I've been doing it like, yeah, 4 o'clock in the morning. I was going again this morning, and I was enjoying it so much it's hard to slow myself down. I'm knackered, so trying to do these lives today is very difficult. So this is very much a test stream today, because this is, well, one, I've paid for Prism again because I've got a Samsung S25 now. Not that I'm using it yet, and needs charging and stuff. But that's cut my bills down. Believe it or not, getting a new phone has cut my bills down by £22 a month. Crazy, but that's the honest truth. I would have had £60 a month, £64 a month to pay for the next 4 months. Instead, I don't have to pay any of that at all, and I've got a new phone and changed a £64 bill into a £38 one. That doesn't happen too often. So I've actually come out on top for once. So, and the 2 phones thing is important for me because I remembered why as soon as I got it. I'm already recording 2 camera angles. I'm already trying to pull off camera tricks. You know, there's just so much more. I remember why. And the other thing is as well, when you go into a protest, when you go into anywhere like that, there's always a chance you're going to run into something that just scrambles your phone. It's happened to me many times. You know, I always used to have one phone turned on, one phone turned off, and the one that was turned on would get scrambled, and for about an hour you couldn't do nothing with it. The one that was turned off, you go, okay, and you would walk about another 5 minutes after the scrambling had occurred, then switch the phone that had been switched off on, and it would work like a dream every time. So that used to be my defense against, and you forget all these things. So I'm testing a new mic today, so hopefully the sound works. Unfortunately, I don't think we've got anyone on to know if the sound works, but it's got noise reduction on at the moment. I didn't want to get a Bluetooth mic because I don't like Bluetooth in terms of trustworthiness and ability to hold a good signal. So I went for a mic that I'm very suspicious is using a Bluetooth signal anyway, but is doing so to a transmitter, which I trust more because the signal is going to be stronger. So hopefully it's not too bad a signal. So this will be going out on Getter. Again, we'll be back. So Getter, you have missed out a couple of lives. Sorry, I didn't think I was going to be able to use Prism anymore. I've lowered the bitrate of Prism down to 1000 kilobits per second. It's quite low, but it's an attempt to see if it stops hammering the battery and see what the quality comes out like your end, which I'll have to look after the stream. I'll be honest, I am burning the candle at both ends at the moment, and it's got the better of me a little bit. Like today, I've been trying to ramp myself up to come on live today because I do want to keep doing the good content and that, and I really have been enjoying it. But I've been trying to, yeah, like I say, I've not deliberately been trying to burn the candle at both ends. I have in the past. I could honestly say I've done it deliberately, but it hasn't been deliberate. It's been, you do a bit of work, whatever else, and then something kicks in, an idea at about 12, maybe even 10 o'clock at night, and you sit down and you think, I just put this one idea together. And before you know it, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're thinking, how the hell did that time pass? And once it's 4, you're just like, oh, not, you know? Because you're already, it's not just that it's 4 in the morning, it's 4 and your mind's wound up. You're in creation mode. So, and then obviously, all that for a 5-minute video. And then obviously the things where you're really gaining and getting on with people is your lives, normally when I can get people on, is your live streams. So, yeah, so Tom's Generation X will be tomorrow. That'll be, I think I've aimed it for about 12-ish. And if we can get people onto that tomorrow, then people are welcome to come and join live. I will put the link out in the chat. We'll see if Vin's about. I don't know what Vin's doing tomorrow. Yeah, and by the way, to Vin or anybody else, I haven't been in contact last couple of days. Partly, as some people know, I was pretty annoyed about that Southampton case that happened. And I want to ask a question about that in a second. And then also just, like I say, just working too much on what feels like too little. In terms of the Southampton case that's just happened, I was sticking up for the Sikh community, and a few people said, in my way of interpreting it, the words were that I was being a little bit naive, maybe. So let me just put it to you like this. I don't really know that much. I know that they've been on our side in war and stuff like that, right? And where we've got history together. The truth of it is, it's a narrative within inside our movement to support the Sikhs because, I believe, partly due to a tradition, partly due to the fact that it then makes us look less racist. That's a genuine belief I have. I'm not saying it's true, it's my belief. So, I'm curious to know, why are people saying the things they're saying to me on here? Is it because, so are the Sikh community protected by our movement unfairly? And do they deserve their share of scrutiny? Do we defend them, or are people right to be defensive over the Sikh community in this country? I'd like to know, because I honestly don't feel knowledgeable enough to have an opinion on it. Again, I feel like I've more been, hey Dave, good to see you. I feel like I've more been, yeah, I know, I can't get out at all today, mate. I released a video earlier on, no one's seen it, no one. And yet yesterday, and the day before, considering that we've started a new channel, there's about 25, 30 people on each one, and they saw it pretty quick. So they didn't see the one today, and they're not seeing this one. I don't know why, mate. Fucking welcome to YouTube. So yeah, so I don't know with the Sikh community. I want to know, Dave, if you know, does our movement unfairly protect the Sikh community? Are we? Oh, by the way, can you hear me fine? I'm using my wireless mics for the first time, my new ones. I've managed to repurpose my Rode mics into PC mics, and they need to be tested to make sure the sound's okay. But these ones are new ones, and they're not. I reckon they're using a Bluetooth signal, but they're not direct to Bluetooth mics. They're actually a mic and a transmitter. I've got the noise reduction on at the moment, but hopefully you can hear me nice and easy. The AI one with Owen Jones, yeah. I looked, because I was knackered. I was up till about 4 or 5 doing the video editing again. All that time, all those days for a video that wasn't even finished. That video's not finished, by the way, that Owen Jones one. That's in alpha stage. The first scene needs to be completely redone because you can't tell what the hell is going on, because I think they copyright thingied it, you know. And yeah, there was just more dialogue that was meant to go in, but it was just one of those frustration things of putting it out. But yeah, when I looked, nobody even seen it, not one person. And it's like, I don't think I've ever put out a video and no one's seen it. It's been hard to get used to, like, putting out a video and not having a couple of 100 people instantly look at stuff, but you get used to it. And actually, what's been nice is having a new channel to break records on all over again. That's been kind of cool. So I haven't minded that, and it's been really cool when we've got together and we've had these chats and that, and when we've done, like tomorrow, if you're about, Dave, tomorrow, about 12 o'clock, I'm going to do Tom's Generation X. So that will be a bit like a sort of walk and talk format, in as much as back and forth, but the link will be open if people want to join. If Vin's around tomorrow, he's welcome to join. So hopefully we get, if people are about, maybe we get a conversation going. Today I really wanted to test the mic and make sure it's working all right. So the volume's fine. Okay, so this is with the sound the sound reduction off. It won't be as good as sound quality, but it may be useful for certain public situations. So boom, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that probably sounds a lot more noisy, but you get a lot more of the background. It's almost like noise cancellation acts as a unidirectional mic and then a multi-directional mic, and then back again, boom, and that should be okay. Hopefully you're not getting any wind on there. So yeah, that's actually a USB-C mic. So I could use that with anything, but it's tiny little transmitter that just goes in the end of your phone. It's got a through port, so if you want to run power through your phone you still can. It's tiny. I went to a company called Boya to get it, because Boya used to make all those really expensive podcast equipment, and then for some reason their coolness started to go down the toilet. And as a result, they're making some really cool stuff that goes under the radar. So I've been keeping an eye on stuff from them, and this was totally affordable. It was less than 30 quid. Less than 30 quid. From what I can tell, it's giving me the same quality as roughly the same quality as my Rode mics were, which were closer to about 160 quid. So it's not exactly the same, but it's not far off. So yeah. Good quality in both terms of voice and zero background. Brilliant. I should be getting back from visiting. Cool. Whatever you're about, you're welcome to join. I mean, you know, 12 always means 12. Do you know what, where I am right now? We've been breaking records for temperatures every day, but we've been doing so because it's been raining, and it's whatever storm weather's brought it in, it pushes the temperature up. So it's a well-known thing in the winter anyway, but especially here, you know, if you want it warm, you need it raining. So, but today, we're trapped between the rain that's already happened, and I don't know if it's warm or cold air on the other side. There maybe some warm air. It's irrelevant. The point of it being is I'm trapped between two air masses, and as a result, it's December. Look how low the sun is in the sky. Look how low that is in the sky. and yet I'm too hot in this coat. I don't think I've had this experience before. I am too hot. I'm running way too hot. I need to cool down. The sun feels hot on me. And there's barely any wind blowing, which is making it even better. But the wind that is blowing feels soft. It's like a summer wind. It's crazy. It's so even though it's been warm the last few days, we've been breaking records, the air still had that crispness to it. Something's going on today. I feel like I'm completely misdressed for the occasion. It feels like I should be wearing a really light spring jacket at most. It feels like a proper spring day. It's totally out of season. I don't think I've ever experienced a December day quite like this. And I'm not exaggerating with that. And I can't be exaggerating because we literally are breaking records every single day in my part of the country. So it's weird. It's weird to be too hot wearing what I'm wearing, which is not, you know. And also as well, I just realised it's been raining so much that the ground has been impassable. And there's been some bits I've had to avoid today because they're still underwater. There's also been one hell of a lot of water siphoned off as well, which is, again, unusual when we've had that much rain. It just sits underwater. It's like it really is that warm. Crazy. Sorry. So anyway, so as a test stream, again, just remind anybody that does come on, if anybody does come on, I don't know why we're not getting out at the moment, but if anybody does come on, it is just a test stream, trying out these mics. I've got a Samsung S25, which before you think I've been spending frivolously has actually saved me £22 a month. And I don't mean it saved me that money and really I've been sold to. I mean, my monthly bill has just changed from, I think it's like £68 a month to £38 a month or something like that. Something around that for my phone. And I got a new phone for it. And I haven't had to pay £60 a month for the next 4 months. So for a rare occasion, I've come out a winner. Only because you have to stick to your guns though, once you found the deal you want and not take all the extras they try and throw on top. But nevertheless, so that's actually saved me some money, which is good. Which is why I felt sort of emboldened to get the microphones. As I said, I've got the Samsung S25. I'm not using it right now because it's nearly out of charge and it's its first couple of charges, so I want to make sure it gets a proper charge. But what I have done is I've lowered the bitrate on Prism. I'm also going to try and protect the CPU by putting it at 90%. Same with the battery. And I'm going to see if I can protect my phones from Prism like that. I'm also going to see how the S25 handles it anyway, because it's got a bigger battery, but it's also got a much bigger screen. And the fact that this phone just seems to be running out of battery quick anyway. And I don't know if it's because it's been running 2 SIM cards. It's got 1 in now, so we'll find out. But it's a new phone, so it's not a case of a knackered old battery. So I will find it. I know Prism's the biggest number one, but I'm hoping half on the bit rate will change that. So Dave, how's the video coming out that side? Because I have literally half the bit rate to a bit rate I wouldn't normally be comfortable with. So is it still coming out relatively okay? Yeah, so that's where. So what you mean is it's oh, for fuck's sake. What you mean is the sorry, these things normally come so naturally to me. I'm not used to not being able to record things properly. It's very frustrating when you have a piece of high pressure that doesn't stop. That stops moving. It causes a greenhouse effect, but it's called something. It's a blocking high pressure cooker effect. All it does is it cooks the air inside, especially if it's got a flow of air coming from somewhere warm. That's the key. If it's got some air coming from a direction that's warm, then it can keep the night times warm as well. And then it cooks the air on the inside, but won't let it out, won't let it escape. It happens in the summertime, but very rarely in the winter. In fact, never this time of year. But in the summer, what it'll do is it'll cook that air, and the air quality gets worse. The air temperature goes up, and it leaves all the way until the air becomes unstable, we get a storm. But this time of year, to have a pressure cooker effect, it virtually doesn't happen. Normally this time of year, high pressure for us means sunny skies and cold weather, especially the more we sort of get to this point of the year. It shouldn't be a soft warm wind on your face, regardless of pressure cooking, just because normally this time of year we'd be pulling, well, I think that's what you said, we'd be pulling the highs more down from the north than anywhere else. So yeah, it's very strange what's been going on, but it's been going on all year now. And I mean, from marine heat waves to all kinds of things that have happened since April, it's definitely been a year for weather. Right, so I think. Oh, hey Spawn, how you doing? Hey, I'm sorry, we're struggling to get out a little bit today. Don't know why. It's the first day we've released videos, not really been able to get out very well, but it is the first day, so I'm not going to take it like it's some conspiracy. It's just, yeah, bit of a bummer. But although we haven't started, the video we did the other day on Ghetto got out about 2,000 people, and we're still growing. We're still growing on there, guys. And as I was saying earlier on, the good thing about doing the channel on here is it's not hard to break a new record. So at the moment, it's kind of giving you a lot of encouragement, because it's going, oh, you've done this for the first time. You've done this for the first time. And it's like, yeah. And it's, oh, yeah, I did that on my other channel. But it doesn't feel like that. It actually feels pretty cool, because you're earning it all. And this time, there's no, oh, you're getting this because of this. Everything, even though the tiny little gains, every gain is because you put in work in. So nobody can take that away from you. So it feels pretty good. It feels pretty good. It's just shit when nobody comes on, but that's what all small channels face. I was just lucky enough never have to face that when I started, because of my start on Periscope, I suppose. On Periscope, there were days when I used to just broadcast to absolutely nobody, hoping someone would watch on the replay. And they did. They did. That's how my channel got started. Replay views. People would watch on the replay, and it ended up actually with a solid audience over there. And many of them come over to Zero News on YouTube and gave me a good start over here. It really did. I had a few hundred people, a really active community as well, before I even finished setting up my studio. It was really, really cool. So they got me off to a flying start. So it's been a different experience doing it this way, because I'm finding out what it's like for other people. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not on the politics and that today. Like I say, I'm burning the candle at both ends, and it has beaten the shit out of me, and I'm beginning to question what for. For cartoons that only some people are interested in, and I'm not that good at yet, because I think that's the second animation I've made over 30 seconds or 60 seconds, 30 seconds. It's only the second one. So it's like, they're going to be shit. They're going to be not great. Because you can't become, doesn't matter who you are, can't become that good that quick. And at the moment, I'm struggling so much with not struggling, but I'm concentrating so much on the technical side. It means that how can you be free-flowing with humour? It's difficult to, you've got to try and separate the time up for the humour and then for the action. John Cleese used to call it open mode, closed mode. And it's a very good way of putting it. It's how I explain it to AI so that we don't fall out. Is that open mode is that you can walk down the side of a plane upside down wearing a tea cozy, you know. Closed mode is you've got to make all that make sense within the framework of a script or whatever. So yeah, you know, I think I'm avoiding saying, because it is a test stream, I'm so glad the mics are working. I would have been gutted if I spent £30 on that at the moment and that turned out to be shit. I have just done something that I won't say on screen, but just to try and help bolster the podcast a little bit. If I'm going to give it a new start, I do need a few things. Nothing big, but I've tried to give myself the best start possible. So I've borrowed a tiny little bit of money, not loads, but just a little bit, just to give me a tiny little start. So I'm not working with broken stuff. So yeah, hence why I've got this. You know, I don't need to keep ripping cords out. Every time I go home, I rip a cord out, or, you know, So I wasn't going to go crazy, but just get some practical things that make it a bit more professional again, make it work a bit better again, start playing with Prism the way that I used to do things, and that's get right up its, either make it work or make it go away, you know? That's the way I used to do things. Things would bend to my will, or they would get fucked off of my phone or my computer, and it's just that I haven't been putting that time in. I have now. It's just trying to do it all. It's trying to do all of it. But yeah, sorry, the thing I was avoiding is, it's good to see you guys, by the way. It really is. Shit, I am hot. I don't feel great today, guys. I've got to be honest. Respecting 3 impacts from my son today. I think I'm fucking going through one now, mate. I don't think it's an impact like a solar flare. I think it's actually the sun is impacting us right now. It feels like I've just been hit by the fucking thing. It hit me on the top of the head and bounced off. Fucking thing. Sorry, my language. Stop it. I got to stop doing this. There's a live on the go thing that can wipe out accidental swearing, but I keep losing it. I don't know where to find it. Anyway, thanks guys for coming on, because we seem to be deserted today. Where is everybody? In fairness, I did cancel the live stream to release the other video though. But also as well, yeah, so I mean, that's the thing, is that people are still telling me they're not getting notifications. It's a little bit worrying. But also, yeah, a lot of my live streams are pulled last minute and people don't know. So, but it's a bit odd with the notification thing. I don't know. And then other times, I will say other times it's working perfectly. I've checked the analytics, and other times it's saying like 100% and getting out. So it's not like my other channel. It's not messed up like my other channel. It's just showing certain days they're not getting out so well for some reason. But no, there's like 70% of my traffic's coming from recommend lists, and 70% of new subscribers are coming from recommend lists. All of the old stats. People are watching for an average of about 7 to 11 minutes. This is more in line with what, yeah, with what my channel would be doing on normal mode with people watching, rather than with all the YouTube messing about. So all the numbers look healthy in terms of, even though they're downscaled, they're doing what they should be doing. So that part looks good. I'll probably unlist this video because it's just me talking about me, right? But I wanted to come on and do a live today, and this is exactly why you shouldn't push yourself to come on and do lives when you're not feeling up to it, because I've kind of avoided talking about the things that I came on to talk about, just because you want to put 100% into it. And this is a kind of reminder today. There's a reason why I say sometimes, do you know what, I shouldn't do a live today because I haven't got enough to say, or I don't know the right way to say it. Today I'm exhausted. And I want to talk to you about, even though it's a test stream, I want to talk to you about the state of our country, how I'm beginning to have horrible realizations that I've been having anyway, but I just don't know if it's the, well, do you know what? We'll cover it again in more detail in another video. Just briefly with you guys on here. I just feel, Vin's been saying on some of his videos, isn't he, that, you know, he kind of thinks that we might be past the point of no return, but he wants to be hopeful and try, and, you know, and I'm the same, yeah? But I think it's really been dawning, it's been dawning in stages. I think when Vin had been down, there were certain things that dawned. I think when I was, you know, talking about Civil War and watching people's reaction to it and that, I think certain things are dawning then. But I'm at the point now of realizing that our country really is gone. There is no mass deportations, I don't think. And again, I don't like to send miserable messages, and there is always an upside. But just so I'm feeling right in this moment, I'll be amazed if they get it done. People will wrap it in even if they got that far, people will wrap it up in red tape, human rights. They'll stifle it for years. You got Starmer trying to get us back into the European Union, European laws, European rules. They've stitched us up there again, which is making me very, very angry. It's obvious what he's doing. It's what they've wanted to do since the day the Brexit vote happened, and they're already doing it. They don't give a shit what this country thinks or anybody in it. They really don't give a shit, and they're showing you all to your face daily. We don't give a shit what you think. We don't give a shit what you want. We don't give a shit about you. And what are you going to do about it? Nothing. You shut up and you go to work and you do what we tell you to do. And we are. Because what else can we do? So, I actually feel that the rate that we're selling our country off, not just our property, but our people and their places and everything else, at the rate that things are happening, even though there are holdouts like where I'm at, where they're fighting with the poppies and the council's fighting, it's not enough. It's too late. These are all just acts of insurrection, more than they are acts of control, of authority. They're not acts of, this is our country, this is Christian land, blah, blah, blah. We're not having you fucking with this. It's more a desperation. No, we're going to have our... That's how it is now. That's how it is now in our own country. Something I can tell you with experience rather than just opinion is I've been around the country and I've seen the places where the rape gangs are up close. And there's something similar about Southampton and Telford. Hey, Stefan. There's something very similar about Southampton and Telford, especially if you was to go there on the train. Something you would say about both places. You get off the train at Telford, get off the train at Southampton. You look around, you'd probably say in both places, it's not such a bad place. Actually, it looks quite clean and tidy. Looks all right. And then you have a look around and you think, no, this really is an all right place. Surely not. Surely this can't be the place where these people are describing all these things happening. This doesn't seem real. Southampton's become an even more perfect example of it now, because Southampton has kept the veneer of a city that is totally okay, unless you walk too far down one end of it. Otherwise, people are still coming to Southampton and going, there's no problems here. There's no problems here. There's no problems in Southampton. Look at it. It's beautiful. Everything's fine. Exactly the same in Telford. You go there, you can't see the problem. Because in Telford, what they do is that the people committing the crimes, they're out in the middle class houses. They're doctors, they are dentists, they're police officers. And they're out in the middle class houses away from the areas of crime. And then at night time during the Middle Eastern hours, I'm not joking, by the way, that's when all the shops and that open up for them. The barbers, the food shops, everything open up about between 12, 1 in the morning. They all start opening up. For who? England. Opening up for all these people who then come away from the middle class houses, this is in Telford, and then commit these disgusting acts that they do and commission others to do the same thing. In the working class areas, away from where they live and away from where their wife is and everything else. That's the difference, I think, with Southampton from what I've seen. In Southampton, instead of having that, I'm not saying the doctors and stuff like that there aren't people like that doing that, I don't know. Haven't seen proof either way. But what you've got a lot more common is the street thug. So in Telford, it is definitely more, from what I've seen, more a higher clientele of criminal, more a higher class of criminal, more a higher class of paedophile, if you'll pardon the contradiction in that term. Whereas in Southampton, again, whether those people exist or not, I don't know. But what you've got a lot of is street thugs. Tell me if that gets too windy, guys. Tell me if that gets too windy. What we got is street thugs. What we got is a place called hang on. We've got a place called Hoglands Park, which is the rape capital of Southampton. It's just a park, but people can't walk around it without... Anyway, the point I'm trying to get to is a long way around it, but because it's my local place, it obviously bothers me a bit more because I know the places. I can photograph everywhere in my head. But from Telford, which is up north and bloody cold, to Southampton, to Plymouth, to Bournemouth, to London, to wherever I've been, Wales, Gloucestershire, you get the point. It's not a fucking travel diary. Wherever I've been, whether it's covert or not, I see the same problems. And at first I didn't recognise them as the same problems. Again, because you've got middle class people doing it, you've got working class people doing it, they do things differently because of all kinds of different traps, and because I was new to it. And now I've seen what I've seen in not every major town. I've still got more towns to go to. But what I can't help but think is, if this, I mean, we've just had another murder in Southampton. There's constant murders going on in Southampton now. There never used to be. And when I say never used to be, I'm not talking about 40 years ago. The rapes have gone up in 2023 by 1,200%. I don't know what they're at in 2025. It's harder to get the information now because they rocketed up after 2022 when the migrants went into the Ibis Hotel. So they're hiding these figures. And so for me, come on this way. So for me, going up and seeing one side of the country to another, I'm afraid I think we really are sunk. I'm afraid I think we really are past the point of no return. And I was thinking this morning, how are we going to get through this? Whether civil war happens, which I don't want, whether it's, you know, national action via strike, which I can see so many things going wrong with that, even though I support it. There's a lot that would have to be worked out. You know, regardless, we have to, I think, people won't accept it, but I think they need to accept the realism that there's some places that are gone to Britain. And if these things can happen in Southampton, this is where I was going with all this, constant rapes, murders, everything else, and this is with the council that actually is trying to stop it. If that can all happen in Southampton, nobody even notices. Telford, same thing. Think about these cities where you only just need to drive near them to see the amount of crime that's going on in them. Think of the things that your countrymen and women, especially the ones that don't believe in any of this being true, imagine the things that are going on a per nightly basis in some of these cities and towns that are not so pretty to look at, are not hiding what they are and who they are, and are totally out in the open. They've completely come out as hostile, anti-British, and aggressive, and Sharia, or whatever similar scenario is going on there. And they are visibly not British, and visibly anti-British. Imagine what goes on in those places on a dark night. You wouldn't want to, because we know what goes in places that goes on in places like Southampton and Telford that are policed, that have got seemingly decent people in. So what about when there are concentrations of the same types of people committing the same types of crime? What kind of hotbed of scum and villainy from Star Wars? Mos Eisley. No, but seriously, what kind of area would you expect then to have? And the placement of the places, like the hotel in Southampton, is placed right next to a school, in the path of another school, and also it is placed next to, I think, the second or third poorest neighbourhood in Southampton. So it's already known for poverty and crime. So it's an attempt to hide the crime numbers, put like with like in their eyes, because all it's done is ravage those areas further. It's given people even more to worry about, other than the daily grind and the violence they're already facing. Now they've got to worry about the daughters being raped and taken another plate. It's crazy. Why would you do that? So I'm seeing this in Telford, I'm seeing this in Birmingham, I'm seeing this across the country. I'm seeing flags being ripped down. Don't get me wrong, I'm seeing lots of pushback, but I'm beginning to realise that the only way that we would survive, in a way, and I am now going into hypothesis and fantasy territory, right? Hands up. I am doing that. But I started to think about the Vikings and Danelaw, yeah? About how we had Danelaw for a big chunk of our history, and how a big part of the country was carved out for Danelaw until until we got control back and murdered the fucking lot of them. Sorry about my language again. Which probably backfired on us quite considerably, but the idea was understandable. But the point of it is, that's kind of the position I see as, if we could find a non-violent solution, this is the kind of situation I could see us in. Something where a kind of apartheid, like the idea that everybody thinks they don't want. Remember, far left and far right in the 60s and today will work together to get what, if they want the same thing. And when they wanted apartheid, they worked together to get it. People who hated each other worked together because they both wanted the same thing. Black only zones, white only zones. They're doing it today. They're doing it today. They're working together and they're doing it again today. And not just black, more Muslim only and communist, Muslim and communist only, you know, it's going to become like that. You know how things were getting with the, oh, if you haven't got a mask on, you may not pass here. Or conversely, with some people, if you have got a mask on, you can't pass here. You know, that kind of almost violent tribalism of just like, can't just let it go. And I don't know, look, mix all this up in a nice fruit salad. What you've got is a world that's been on the brink. There's been so many demos and protests across the world over the last few years that don't get put on the mainstream media, but are all over social media. I mean, people out in their thousands in every major capital in the world. And in our country, how would you get London back? Deport them all? How are you going to do that? You'd be wrapped up in human rights complaints for years. You'd have to get the law changed before you even started. Otherwise, they would wrap you up in red tape. These people would die of old age before you get them out of the country. Don't believe me? Look at the people in Rochdale. Convicted. I hate saying convicted pedophiles, part of rape gangs. They were sentenced to be exiled from the country because they weren't British nationals. And one of the victims of these men, this is fact, one of the victims of these men in Rochdale saw her torturer and abuser in her local shop. I can't remember if it was a spa or something like that, just in a local food shop. Absolutely stunned to see her rapist, torturer and abuser buying food across the aisle from her. He was supposed to have been deported. I don't know if he's been deported now, but it was like, the last time I looked, it was like years since that sentence had been passed. He hadn't been deported yet, and nobody could give a good reason. It wasn't like the appeals had gone through, the appeals had been lost, the human rights appeals. So he was in limbo for no reason that anybody could answer. This is one guy. And then and for doing a heinous crime like he did multiple times, and they had that much trouble getting him out of the country. And then you've got the fact that Labour a little while ago was celebrating over getting one singular migrant out of the country. This should tell you how hard it actually is to get people out of this country. You're gonna have all the do-gooders filing court cases. You're gonna have the European Union, especially if we've got back in bed with them, trying to put their laws on top of us. We're not going to be mass deporting people out of this country if all these scumbags get their way. So we're not going to be mass deporting people. We've got to accept the fact these people are outbreeding us. They have taken London. They have taken Birmingham. They have taken a lot of these cities, and they're not giving them back. Our mistake was letting them go in the first place. Our mistake was allowing us to go on as much as we did. We've got faith in our authorities. We've had faith. We had trust in those that were supposed to have our best interests at heart. They failed us. They failed us. And in my opinion, our country is now unrecoverable. We can't, I don't know if we can avoid civil war. I can't say that. But we can't avoid the troubles that are coming. We can't avoid the fact that it is an invasion. And we can't avoid the fact that we either need to defend ourselves from the invasion or be mowed over by it. And so to try and think of solutions and a bit of hope is very, very difficult. And the only thing I can say is community. They have tried to destroy community for a reason, because they know community can get through anything when it's strong. They know that community helps each other. They know that community holds itself together. Humans got out of the gutter because of community. Humans got out of being nomadic because of things like community. We're stronger together, always have been. And that's why they're always trying to divide and conquer us, because they know how much stronger we all are together and how much more resilient we are. Even just the morale of knowing you've got each other's back can make you fight that bit harder. Think of a boxer in the ring, knows he's got a crowd behind him. You might just have that one extra round in him, you know? Just makes you fight that bit harder. Same as us doing the podcast. When we know we've got people behind us, when we're doing a particular mission, you just fight that bit harder because you want to please everybody, not just yourself. And you want to do the best you can. So, sorry, I've lost myself a bit there. Feeling the passion in the moment, but that's me. So it is passion. But yeah, so where was I? Sorry, it's getting I'm very, very hot. There's a big cloud streak there though. You probably can't see that. There's a big cloud streak there, and that normally would mean thunderstorm, but it's all weak. I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's all really, really weak and fluffy, so it's not going to lead to anything. But it's exactly the same formation as something about 2 days ago that would have just opened up. So that's the same formation, pressure's wrong. Oh, sorry, I am struggling. This is the first time I've been able to walk like this. Well, I did a walk after I hurt my leg a few days afterwards, and then you haven't seen me do a walk since then. That was why after I did that, my leg was really bad again. So I've tried to heal it until today, which meant my dog's not had many walks. It's been difficult, but I've tried to heal it until today. And the reason I'm mentioning it is because it's just starting to tweak and hurt now. So I think I need to start thinking about heading back home. Successful test with the mics. That was, I don't know if it was 30 quid or 25 quid, but it was money well spent. I didn't want to get a fucking Bluetooth mic because you're relying on so much of it. So many of them are shit, and you're relying so much on that Bluetooth signal to the phone. And I wanted the transmitter, USB receiver, but one that required no battery because it just shouldn't need to, with a through port which it's got, and with the ability to take that background noise. Well, I've got all of that for, like I say, I think less than 30 quid. So that's a real bonus for me. No more, I can put the cable mic away. All my old mics that don't fit anymore, all the jack plug ones, that's the problem. I had all the mics, all the jack plug ones don't fit anymore. So that's the hardest thing I found. You can't really do a good high quality adapter. You can't make a good high quality adapter to transform a 3.5 jack plug to a USB-C. You can do it for headphones, that works. But if you try and do it for headphones and microphone, the results are poor at best. So yeah, so the USB-C mic was important to me. So my Rode microphones, I've got plugged into my PC, and they started working last night. So Thomas Generation X, we'll try them tomorrow. If they don't work, I'll just use these ones. But it'd be nice to have them used for different purposes. Then I've got everything set up, don't need to move it around all the time. It's the moving around of equipment that breaks it. You know, I can have equipment for ages. The moment I go to a demo, something breaks. Just having it in your bag, whatever else. The moment I cover 3 or 4 protests, you can guarantee that's when microphones break, stands start to break. You only need to use this stuff. Remember in the old days, people used to buy video cameras, and do you remember most people get a video camera and then they wouldn't know what the hell to do with it. So it would sit on a shelf on the side. And I used to say to people, my video camera's broken after 6 months. They go, well, mine's not. I'm like, yes, because you never fucking use it. Mine were always breaking because I used to use them. It's a bit like people with their phones these days. My phone's not working. Why? Because you're using it. It's pretty much the truth, isn't it? Anyway, let me see if do you know what? I did bring my glasses. I've got a case now, a grey case with everything. It is literally my podcast kit. It is my podcast kit now. It's ready for my 2 phones to go in. It's got my, what do you call it? Oh, Jesus Christ. Mobile fucking hotspot. Language. Mobile hotspot. It's got my mic stands, everything in there, but all within a nice little carryable case that I can put in a bag with my glasses in, everything. Didn't bring it. Tosser. So again, I think in fairness, I thought it's a test. I hadn't had a chance to charge the battery up. I wanted really to try the S25 because I believed the camera was coming out better and just wanted to test the battery. But if I'm honest, I need to run the battery out on the S25 and do its first proper charge, so it wasn't really realistic. But besides, it means I've been able to test the mics separately, which is important to me. So I've tested them today, test the other mics, and test the other phone on another day. But having the 2 phones, as well as the extra camera angles, means I don't have to put everything on one phone. I can still do podcasts and that from this one, but from that other one, if it does better with Prism, I can run it with Prism a bit, or whatever, you know. I'm still going to turn the other one into a handheld gaming deck though. I've got to. 256 gigabytes, I've got it with that extra space for a reason. I think it'll save me money buying stupid toys I don't need. So I've got everything working on there. So, but no, in all seriousness, it does give me a lot of abilities with filming that I used to have. I used to have tripod, like places like this, I used to have tripods set up. And I used to be able to use the different wireless mics to be able to address different cameras at different times, and then go back and edit it together. It would create some cool scenes. So, yeah. So that wind's not affected too much. Whoa. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. I didn't realise anybody had come back on. I don't feel good. Do you know what though? I do question this movies and games blaming thing, and the reason why is, hey, Sue, this way. I played games and stuff, all right, when the graphics weren't so good, but also when they were, and when they were making games that you couldn't make today, when they were doing things like State of Emergency, where you were literally going in the airport as a terrorist and killing people in the airport. And what was it to us? It was a naughty, shock jockey kind of, how do I put it? Comedy. The scenes in Red Dead Redemption that should absolutely not exist, but they're comedy through shock value. It's watching a computer game doing something like that. Also, if you look at a lot of the SAS guys, oh, hang on. Something I've watched is a lot of the SAS guys looking at the Call of Duty games, expecting them to rip them to pieces. And a lot of them have said, this is a bit fanciful. This is really good. This is like the real thing. And a lot of them are telling you this actually will give you an experience like the real thing. So I thought that was kind of cool. But for me, like, those games and films certainly never made me more predilected towards violence. I think that for those things to set that off in you, you've got to have a bit of it in you anyway. You know? I just think that no matter what people watch, they're going to be set off by something. There's people like religion, for instance. It's no coincidence that since people have been finding a certain religion, it's fallen into their mental pathway very well, and the two just happen to mesh together very well. So there's always going to be people like that, especially the more appealing the idea is. But I don't really see. I think the desensitization is more in the fact that, again, I'll say this like I said before. Remember Michael Ryan? Do you remember the country shock? Like absolute, genuine shock when Michael Ryan did what he did. White man, by the way, for everybody who wants to know. There was absolute shock. There was mourning. Just a different time when people actually give a shit, and these things were not common. I think the desensitization is coming from the mainstream media, and from the fact that, yeah, Sadiq Khan was being prophetic about the future, because now being a European city does mean being a European city does mean guaranteed terrorism, guaranteed acts of terror that they won't call terrorism, whatever, you know. I'm afraid we really are screwed in as much as if anybody thinks we're going to get a lot of these people, a lot of what they're fighting for is to turn the clock back. And I understand it. I even support them if it was realistic. I almost embrace them because I understand their desperation. And I don't mean when I say turn the clock back, I don't mean racist people. I'm talking about turn the clock back in terms of bringing religion back, deporting people, etc., etc. I think that they're fooling themselves about how difficult that will actually be, and I think that I'm not saying they shouldn't be doing it. I don't have a clear answer on this myself. See, come here, come on this way. I don't even have a clear answer on it myself. All I say is that sorry, I'm being put off by things. This is why I've stopped doing the walk and talks, because I can't concentrate. Fuck's sake. I'm sorry, guys. This is why I've stopped doing them, because I'm constantly Jesus. People are so thoughtless. People are so thoughtless. And I don't mean thoughtless I'm doing a podcast. I'm not that arrogant. I mean, yeah, just having conversations in access ways rather than doing it just to the left or just to the right where you could actually get past. And yeah, you know, usual sort of thing. Anyway. Yeah, give a shout out to the Captain Dinner Show. Go check out his channel, guys. Yeah, I mean, like I say, there's games out there now. I mean, the Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption's got rape scenes in, I think. There was the State of Emergency. They made the graphics so bad, and that's how they got away with making that game. They made the graphics really bad, so that it really did look cartoonish. But I'm actually not against games that do that kind of stuff, because I don't think they cause any harm, unless you're with the Taliban, I suppose, and doing target practice, then maybe they would do some harm. But I just think that they're shocking. Most people won't want them for that content. And the ones that do, like me, I will find it hilarious. I mean, when they did State of Emergency, I think it was State of Emergency, and you were being these terrorists, I thought it was hilarious, and I thought it was hilariously bad taste. I really did think it was hilariously bad taste. And it wasn't the kind of mission where you'd want to replay it over and over again. It was just fucking ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I suppose you even understood what was behind it. It was just giving you a taste of being able to let loose, not give a shit. It wasn't really about being a terrorist. It was more about doing all the wrong things. Like everybody in games, when they get a game that's got lots of natural, real physics in, they see a deer walking past. A lot of people just can't out and go and kick the deer, see what happens when they go and kick it straight in the ribs, and watch it roll over and say, oh, the physics on that's really good. We can't help ourselves. Or at least I can't. If I'm in a new driving game on a brand new console with new graphics, I'm going to run into some animals and see what happens. And I think that's the school of thought and entertainment it comes from. It's not something you're going to do for the rest of the game's life. It's just something you just get to be a bad guy. You just get teased. And with the way they did it with State of Emergency, you got the mission was so short, and it wouldn't let you revel in it. So they were quite clever how they did it. They let you get just a taste of being a bad guy, and then they rip it away from you and say no more. So, you know, I'm not really against it. I don't think games make bad people. I just think bad people make bad people. And yeah, there may be triggers. Games can be a trigger, so can films, so can political speeches, you know? So can influencers. So, I mean, look at the crimes that are being committed by influencers at the moment. I mean, you know? So I think it's hard to put it down. I tell you what, if I was to blame anything in a broad spectrum, because it's hard to blame things in a broad spectrum, because everything breaks down into variables, right? But if there was anything I would look at in a broad spectrum and say, we don't even still understand it properly, and our kids certainly don't because of the damage being done by it, and that's the internet as a whole. The internet as a whole, I think, has in many ways been more damaging than it's been helpful. And I know people, like, I'm a computer enthusiast. I love computers, love the internet, love, you know, and so a lot of my peers wouldn't agree with me on that because they're computer enthusiasts, the same as I am. But I have to look at social media and it brings out the worst in people. Don't get me wrong, having done a YouTube channel that's had some success, I've also seen the best in people. And, you know, I remember coming on YouTube thinking that like 99 out of 100 people would be slagging me off being horrible just because they could. Just because it's a free space, you can say what you want. It wasn't like that at all. People were quite nice, people were quite fair. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But nevertheless, you're still out there in the big wide world. Sorry, it's hard to concentrate. I do need to, again, these Walker Talks really were, it used to be the bread and butter of the show. But these days I'm constantly watching for her safety. So I don't like doing these too much at the moment. But like I say, where I haven't been able to get out and walk, today was a case of getting, for fuck's, sorry guys. This is, I understand what's happening because it's the first day where it's not been raining. Everybody's out with the industrial tools. It's just, yeah, they're everywhere. Council are out with just, yeah. She's got to be careful with the dog, that's all. That's all I'm saying is it takes my concentration away. And there we go again. Thomas tried to do another Walker Talk and he keeps stopping what he's saying mid-sentence. This way, you tit. You know which way we're going. Yeah, you do. Yeah, so I think I'm going to give up because I'm not going to get anywhere. Now she's giving me shit, ain't ya? So I'm sorry. I might unlist this, so I don't know. It's a bit of a disjointed thing about me, really. But I did say at the beginning it was a test stream. Very much a test stream. And I do hope some of you come and join me tomorrow, 12 p.m. Well, I'm going to try not to do any video work tonight. Because I said I released a video earlier on. Spent all these hours doing it. And admittedly, it's not finished. But no one's seen it. So it's like, why have I bothered putting this time in? But at the same time, that's no one else's fault. It's just because it's a new channel. But at the same time, yeah, I need to try not to get into making a video tonight, because that's what's been happening. For 4 o'clock this morning again, I was video editing, so I'm trying not to be video editing tonight. And then if I join you guys tomorrow about 12 p.m.-ish, we'll go live. And then if anybody wants to come in, have to say, story of the day, anything you like to bring on, then you're welcome to. I'll drop a link out there. Obviously as well, if Vindicator's about, if he wants to join us, he's welcome to. Danny, Roscoe, anybody else, Jupiter wants to join in, they're always welcome to. And you guys, you know you're welcome to. Captain, Dave, anybody, you're all welcome to come and join and have your say and bring up the topics that you wish to bring up. So that's the show we call Tom's Generation X. That's tomorrow at 12 p.m, Tom's Generation X, okay? Come and join me here and we will, we'll have a chat. Oh, okay, let's have a look for the comments. I'm going to get off here. You can never turn the clock back. You're so right, mate. Guys, it's getting dangerous. Hang on a minute. Yeah, right. That Captain Dinner, I get that totally. So you'll have to let us know which channel to shout and not to shout or whatever. Yeah, shout out, because I don't want to. Like, I've been branded what I've been branded, yeah. And even though there's absolutely no truth to it, even though I've fought my cases, even though there's 7.5 years of video to prove who I am, people have branded me what they wanted anyway because they've used the media to do it. So I don't want any of my shit coming down on you, mate. Because, you know, these days you're guilty by association. So, yeah. I'm not saying it's that bad, but yeah, at the same time, I will be a bit more careful. Because yeah, for a gaming channel, you don't want that kind of traffic. You don't need that kind of attention because it'll just screw everything up for you. So yeah, I can't see the comments on here properly, so I don't. Again, I'll have to read what you said properly. But I don't know if you're on the correct channel now, or if there's another channel you use. So I'll have a proper look. You can see the sun's right behind me. I can't get it out of position. It's too low in the sky to be able to see properly. So I apologise. But yeah, well, you know, you're always welcome on Anon, Captain. You know that, yeah. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't begrudge you. Wouldn't begrudge you that. I can understand it totally. And oh God, stop saying But it's great. It's great to have you guys come on. Like I say, I'll get some rest tonight. This video I'm going to put down. Like I say, it was a test stream. I did say that at the beginning. I'm glad the microphones work, and that's good. That was money well spent. And it's nice to be able to say that for once. You know, actually was money well spent rather than equipment I won't use. This is going to be, well, it's going to be with me every time now. So for both this kind of thing, going out on protests, everything, it's the perfect mic. So for the price, really happy with it. So yeah, and I said again, I've half the bit rate of Prism today, and my phone is currently not as hot and currently not burning through juice at half the rate. So I don't know if I found a sweet spot. I'll have to check the recording later on, but we may have found a sweet spot that is saving a little bit more battery than I was before. But I literally half the bit rate, so I didn't know what I was going to get today. I still don't really. So yeah, so all these little tweaks are being made behind the scenes. So like I said, when I unlist this video, you guys will know this, but nobody else will. But yeah, these tweaks are being made. I'm trying to get things right because I just want to be able to make the videos and get them, make them as I want them with all these tweaks done. Do you know, last night it said, yo, you need 500 subscribers to go live. I was like, oh, whatever. On your mobile, it means. And that's actually gone down from the 1,000 that was. And it said, I said, and you need one of the following. It said 4,000 watch hours. And 4,000 watch hours is quite reasonable. In 365 days as well. If you can't get that, you shouldn't be monetized, yeah? So it's not hard to get. Or 3 million shorts. And one of them went up to 10, and one of the tiers went up to 10 million. And I'm like, how would someone plan to get 3 million shorts watches? Like, that would mean you're planning for something to go viral, and something going viral is completely in the lap of the gods. Like, even Google couldn't explain it to me. I said, how is there any parity between the two things you're asking for? One of them is about hard work, creating lots of videos, good content, well packaged, so it rewards time put in, which is the watch hours. And then there's the shorts, which is banging out 2.5 minutes worth of shit until something takes off and gets you the whole 3 million views in one go. And they kind of admitted that there's a massive discrepancy and admitted that it was arbitrary. So yeah, whatever. I'm not bothered, by the way. I'm way. So imagine if I got monetized tomorrow. What money do you think I would make from the views I'm getting at the moment and stuff like that? Like, it'd probably be about 0.01 pence. So it's not my priority at the moment. My priority at the moment is just getting the videos right, number one, which is why I'm having days like today where I'm just getting all the kinks and bugs out the system. Wish I could see the comments. The sun is really at a terrible angle. It's that time of year, guys. no matter which way I try and turn, I just can't. It's too. It really is that time of year, isn't it? I will look at the. Do you know what? I will. Sometimes it takes 24 hours to process, but I will go back and look at the comments afterwards. It's blinding me today, guys. It really is. Can you see the angle of that? It's just crazy. It's crazy. Shorts award being annoying. You know, shorts, right? So, what did it say? 10. I hate shorts. I hate them. I understand there's a place for them, but I also think it's like TikTok. TikTok's just a madhouse of unhealthy energy where you just go from one video to another, each one telling you a little bit of knowledge about something, not enough to know anything. Like literally the Dunning-Kruger effect on film, or the Dunning-Kruger effect given teaching form. TikTok, YouTube Shorts tell you just enough about a subject so that you can be damaging to yourself, you know, and then go to the next video. And even the numbers of the shorts don't get counted normally, and half of them are getting views because autoplay comes on, and by the time you've turned the fucking short off, it's halfway through playing anyway. I don't know. Like, I'm up against fashion here because shorts take up 1/3 of the social media traffic now. So in 3 years, shorts have taken over, or taken 1/3 of the entire market over. So it's me that's in the wrong, apparently. Shorts have taken over, or at least 1/3 of the video stream market, in terms of what I do, and my 10-minute and 20-minute and 30-minute videos are no longer required. Well, I'm sorry, but it takes me about 2.5 minutes to make an intro. I like 10-minute podcasts, which I never used to be able to do. They always used to be longer. And I like half-hour podcasts if there's a lot of info and if they're well done. And I think that the right audience will sit and watch them if they are well done and if they contain the right info and if it's interesting and entertaining. I think that on the converse side of that, when people are watching shorts, come on babe, when people are watching shorts, they'll watch videos they wouldn't normally watch because it's only a couple of minutes. So where normally they might not click on it because they think, I ain't watching this shit, they'll just go, monkey fucks glove, yeah, why not? Only a couple of minutes anyway. I'll do that while I'm, going and washing the dog or whatever. Chimpanzee mates with acorn. Yeah, I'll leave it playing. And I'm saying that like joking, but I truly believe there's an element of that, which means you've got no loyalty to the channel. Nobody's going, oh, I'm going to subscribe to this channel because of its great shorts. It's just something that passes the time for these people that are absolutely addicted to their phones 24/7. I think for people like me, shorts are an irritation more often than not. Not all of them. There's a couple of good ones. There's some I like, but more often than not, they're an irritation to me. It's like the animation I released today. That's about 5 minutes. But the content probably only takes about 3 minutes. As I said, it is unfinished. And the beginning part has been, I think, ruined by a copyright. So it does need to be finished off. But still, 5 minutes when you've got intro, outro, doesn't seem like you're giving your audience very much content to me. I hate the word content, but it doesn't seem like you're giving your audience very much and I wonder if that's why nobody came to watch that today. If simply because a 4.5 minute video is not enough to set your fucking clock to, which is fair enough. So why would people set their time out to go and watch a 4.5 minute video that I've already told them is going to be average, So for me, it's when there's a live going on with a good conversation or a good crew, a good topic, or a video coming out, it's going to be a great documentary, or it's something like that. That's the thing you set the notify button for, surely. That's the thing that you're setting your watch for. You're not setting your watch for the shorts that happen to be a bit amusing or a bit, gave you some morbid curiosity about something, or just happened to be on. That's my view of it, but apparently I'm wrong, because they do take up 33% of the market. You explain that to me, boys. Is that my man Vindicator? It is. Hey Vin, good to see you, my man. Good to see you. Anybody that does get to see this video, wherever you are, I'm joking. Vindicator strikes back. Constantly doing protests, constantly doing good work. 10-minute videos in the mornings for those with short concentration spans, but high capacity for common sense. Perfect videos here in the morning, and then on certain days he does live streams in the afternoon as well, in which he'll both talk about certain craziness that's going on around the world and in Britain, and also he'll address certain stories, and we'll have people on and address people in the audience and stuff. So make sure you go to Vindicator Strikes Back. He is awesome, absolutely awesome. Vin, and yeah, Vin, just so you know, I'm sorry I haven't been in contact the last couple of days. I've been burning the can at both ends, and I did say this on channel earlier on, so I don't think I'm too embarrassed saying it. Also, when I sent you a story the other day about Southampton, I don't know why, but it's like months and months and months of something, and that flipped a switch. That flipped a switch for a moment, and I lost all parity with things. You know, there's been a few times, Vin, when we've talked, and there's just that moment of realization when your heart sinks and you know we're at a certain stage. We've had those moments together. Well, this was a bit what it was like for Southampton for me the other day, when I just sort of, I don't know, something kind of broke in me that day, and I think I've realised, as I was saying to the people on here today, I think I've realised that hope needs to be found in a different metric than perhaps what we're looking for, because I think that we are fucked. I think that parts of our country are gone forever. Parts of a society are gone forever. People trying to push the clock back, people trying to push things back are not going to get their way. People trying to get people out of the country are going to get wrapped up in red tape and bureaucracy. Even more so now you've got Starmer trying to pull us back in Europe. It's not going to happen the way they think. The best result that we can have is something I was saying, it's something like a Danelaw, where you've got segregation, where you've got part of the country under the laws of Sharia, or communism, whatever, and part of the country where you've kept the western part. The segregation, honestly, I know it's a fantasy and a hypothesis in my mind. I'm not saying this is a real scenario. The real scenario is we're running out of political solutions. But just in that fantasy and hypothesis world, just to be clear, I'm like thinking, well, if there's a way of avoiding civil war, again, it'd be capitulation, or it would be segregation. And I'm like, it's not actually hard to believe, because we're already segregated in a lot of places. So a lot of the work's been done. And if something we do remember about the far left and the far right, is they are both willing to help each other with their most extreme policies, like segregation. The horseshoe effect, yeah? The far right and the far left will work together to achieve these goals. So as I said earlier on, I think hope needs to come in the form of community. I'm using my new wireless mic, Vin, today. Hope needs to come in the form of community. They've been, again, as I said at the beginning, and this is where I think I'm going to finish up. Again, it's just a test stream today. I wanted to make sure that my purchase is paid off with the wireless mics. Tomorrow, when we do Tom's Generation X at 12 o'clock, Vin, you're welcome to come on tomorrow at 12 p.m. if you're free, mate, or sometime after then if you're free. I'll be doing Tom's Generation X. I'll make it open for people, but you're welcome to come on and have a chat with me first if you want, mate. If you're busy, no problem. But yeah, the offer's there for you. To be honest with you, the offer's always open for you, but just so you know. Yeah, you come, if you want to come join me, if anyone can come join me, then we can look into some of it a bit more. But I just feel like, you know, they're good at dividing and conquering us, but it's for a reason, and that's because we are stronger together. We are stronger as communities, and regardless of colour, race, all that stuff, we need to pull together as communities. There's only one group of people that doesn't want to integrate, primarily. So the rest of us need to get together, regardless of skin colour, and make that other lot feel pushed out. We need to stick together as communities, I believe. I think it starts with the foundations. You can't put up a fight, and you can't hold things off, and you can't do anything if the foundations are swept from underneath you. And that is what they've constantly been trying to do: undermine us, undermine us, undermine us. So I do believe if there's any solutions, any hope to come, that those solutions aren't going to be quick fixes. There's going to be no overnight fix. I don't see it being an instant political fix. But I do know that people are going to need each other. And there's two ways this can go. People can turn on each other, and they do quite easily. And people can be turned on each other, and they have been quite easily. Or we can work together and literally look after each other's kids, look after each other's safety, look after each other's women, look after each other's families. Or we can ring the police on each other and treat each other like the enemy in some Stasi existence. I know which I'd rather choose. Go. I know what I'd rather choose. So anyway, let me catch up with you guys. Steve, great to see you, mate. Great to see you. I'm sorry about no notification today. Oh, these things jumping are doing my head in. Well, do you know what? We've been going an hour and 21 minutes, and I haven't had a battery warning yet. My phone is still cold. I'm only on 1,000 kilobits per second bit rate, so I'm kind of thinking the video is going to look shit when I get home. But if it doesn't, I may have fixed the Prism problem. I thought it was way too low a bit rate to get away with. Way too low. But now I'm not sure. And yeah, this is the mic, Vin, if it's still there. Look. I just didn't get this on Bluetooth. I made sure it's got like a transmitter that goes in the bottom. But I then found my old Rode mics that don't fit in the phones anymore. Found that they fit in my PC, and they seem to work, so they might save me getting a thing there as well. So yeah, so got some equipment at some half decent prices rather than spending out $30 a month. But this will be good for taking to demos and everything. And finally I can walk in my place when I'm doing a walk and talk and stop ripping my coat off and ripping the microphone out of my jacket and nearly beheading myself or grotting myself. Right, hang on a sec. Sue, here. Now, Sue, here, now, here. Beep, beep, beep. Here. Here. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Time to get carried away. Time to focus. 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 Go, 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 go. Good girl, good girl. In. That's it. Good girl. Good turn. Good turn. Right, okay. I think I'm just about done, to be honest. Still here, mate, and yeah, it's like mine, mate. Cool. So oh yeah, you did show me yours. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, so it's got like a little transmitter that goes in the bottom, and I thought that for a wired mic. So yeah, quite pleased with it. So the next thing I've got to try is the Samsung S25, again, which has saved me a lot of money, but also could be a brilliant mix with Prism and the cameras on there and the battery. And if it turns out to be that perfect mix, then great. So we've got all the tools we need nearly all the tools we need for next year. But that's it. I'm not going to go crazy. Just a few more bits that I need to make sure that I've got everything without going, you know. And if I go somewhere, when I was with Vin, he'll tell you I was going, oh, this doesn't work. Oh, that used to work. Yeah, no, none of that. Like, I'm throwing it all away except for what works, and I'm replacing, and I'm literally doing that as we speak, which is why I got the new microphones and everything else. And tell you what, going out the door, knowing I had those mics on, knowing they work, made me feel a lot better already. I could just relax and talk. So I'm sorry, it's not my best live stream today. I'm absolutely knackered. I really have been burning the candle at both ends, stupidly. It's only because I've been getting really into making the videos at night, which nobody's even watched that video released. And again, nobody's fault. It's just, why set your clock for 4.5 minutes of video that's the first 30 seconds have gone wrong? Yeah, you know, I wouldn't. But it's just the amount of time that it takes to go into just making these animations work, you know. But yeah, doing that till 4 o'clock in the morning and then trying to get yourself tired because I'm excited at that point. I'm laughing at stupid videos and then thinking, shit, I'm not normally a late bird anymore. I used to be. And so for me to be up 4 o'clock in the morning video editing is how I used to be, and I felt it last night, and I wanted to continue, and I'm stopping myself from continuing, thinking, no, stop. And so, oh God, by the time you get into sleep, you're talking about 5:30, 6 o'clock, aren't you? You know, and then I sort of back up for 9 o'clock again, and so, yeah, sorry about today. It hasn't been my best dream because I'm just knackered. So tonight, no video making, no more lives today, no more research, no nothing. The microphones work. I might try the S25. No, I won't try the S25 tomorrow because I'm going to do the stream at home. 12 p.m. Tom's Generation X tomorrow. Vin, you're welcome. Steve, anybody, you're welcome to jump on. Obviously, if I jump on with Vin, I do like to have a chat with him one-on-one for a little while because there's some things we haven't caught up on. And we'd see who's available tomorrow. But that's what time I'll be around anyway, about 12ish. It won't be too long, probably, unless we end up talking all afternoon. But yeah, so 12 o'clock tomorrow, Tom's Generation X. I'll see you then. And I'm going to get my self off here. What I will do is I will look at your comments tonight, because I've just realised they're up on screen, aren't they? Because that was blinding trying to look at them over there. The sun was really getting in my eyes, so I just need to give my eyes a rest, and I will go and have a look through the comments. I always do, by the way. I always try and have a look through the comments, because I know that if people are making the effort to talk to me, I should be reading them. So I do prefer to read them live. But yeah, my eyes are literally hurting from that sun. It really hurt me today. Not that bad. That sounds a bit dramatic, doesn't it? Oh, blind! Not quite that bad. It was, yeah, I'll be honest with you, it was a struggle to get out every day. But yeah, we've done it. We have done it. Anyway, I'm going to keep doing the lives, I'm going to keep doing the videos, I'm going to keep making lots of effort. Some days are going to be a bit like this, a bit wishy-washy, but that's why today was a test stream. If ever I say it's a test stream, it really does mean that. It means it's going to be a bit meandering, it's going to be all over the place, but I have said it probably 6 to 10 times throughout this video, so hopefully nobody feels shortchanged. But yeah, if I say it's a test stream, it really means that. Every other stream, different. That has to be more structured, and you know, we need to be going for it with the story or the content or whatever else. I appreciate any video you watch is taking up your time, so I do appreciate it. I do appreciate the time that it takes up. And I'm also aware of the fact that I'm waffling now, and I'm starting to bore myself. My own voice is annoying me, so I'm going to get off. I'm going to get off of here right now before I strangle myself on camera. I'll catch you soon. This is Thomas Fury. This is Thomas Fury for Zero News. I'm calling it a day for now. I really have had enough of my voice.